All right, so hey, people of God, this is Rashana B back with On My Way Up movement. You guys, I'm back with an encouraging word. So I wanted to talk about 1 Samuel chapter 13, verses 11 through 13. And I want to give you a backdrop of what's going on at this time. And so what's going on is that King Saul is in a certain place, in a certain area, and his son, and it's Jonathan, and Jonathan's servant is in another area. And so Jonathan and his servant decides to attack the Philistines, I guess unbeknownst to King Saul. And so word gets back to King Saul that someone has attacked the Philistines. And so when they do a head count, they realize that it was Jonathan and Jonathan's servant that is missing. And so now Saul is in a panic, okay? And he's waiting. He sent word to Samuel. He's been told to wait 7 days in Gilgal. And so the seventh day has come. And so now that the seventh day has come, and this is what happens on the seventh day, it says that his people started to leave him. And Samuel still hasn't shown up. Okay, he's in a panic. The Philistines have gathered against him, and the Bible reports that they are as many as sand on the seashore. Okay, he haven't heard from God. And then on top of that, the Israelites don't have a blacksmith. Nobody has a sword except Jonathan and Saul. So Saul is in a panic. So out of impatience and impulsivity, he decides to violate the laws of God. And the reason why he does this is because this is what he says. He says, I felt compelled. Okay. He says, I felt compelled. 1 Samuel chapter 11, verse 13, when Samuel comes, right after he does the sacrifice and asks him, why did he do it? He names off 4 very valid reasons that I've given you. And then he says, I felt compelled to do the sacrifice. People of God, Proverbs 14:12 tells us that there is a way that seems right to a man, but it ends in death. This seemed right to him. Okay, Saul kingship is taken from him because of these very reasons. He's impatient and he's impulsive. Not only does he show us in chapter 13 that he's unworthy to be king, but then he does it again, the same type of behavior. He's rash, he's impulsive, he's impatient. People of God, there are things that can seem right, and you can have very valid and justifiable reasons for doing what you're doing, but you should wait upon the Lord. Trust in the Lord. It is very critical. You can have a blessing coming at the 11th hour and the 59 minute and 59 second, and you can lose everything because you're acting out of being impulsive and impatience. Impatience will get you nowhere in the kingdom of God. The fruit of the Spirit, one of the fruits of the Spirit is patience and self-control. This man's kingdom was taken from him because he lacked those fruits in the Spirit. Okay, let me share something with y'all. David, the reason why he was chosen for king, because if you read chapter 27, he finds himself in the same exact position. He says that there is an army that is against him. He says, though an army, this is in verse 3, chapter 27, he said, though an army may encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though they rise against me, in this I will be confident. Meaning in God's power, I will be confident. I will be confident. He put his confidence in the power of God. In 27, he's declaring his faith. People of God, if you read right in the next chapter, chapter 28, it is titled, he is rejoicing in answered prayer. Just like that, in 27, he's declaring his faith, okay? He's putting his trust in God, he's being patient, and he's waiting on God. And in 28, verse 7, he says this, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted him, and I am helped. People of God, trusting in God is everything. Being patient, I know it's hard. I know that you have very justifiable and valid reasons for wanting to just do what you do. You want to go back and start working that job. You may thinking, maybe I should go back into that relationship. Maybe I do need that friend. She was negative and she wasn't of God, but she will give me money when I needed it. Okay, ladies, that ex-boyfriend, rent is due, bills are due, and he's calling you up, and you know that he was completely taken out of your life for very good reasons by God, but now you're becoming impatient for very justifiable reasons. I got rent due, I got kids, and you're thinking about going back and entertaining that relationship. You're thinking about going back to that illegal activity because, again, the pressures of life are weighing on you, and those are very justifiable and valid reasons. But do you know that God is waiting to see what you are going to do? Okay, and this is a very critical point for you. You can easily go from chapter 27 Psalm to 28 and rejoice. Chapter 27 is entitled My Declaration of Faith, and then 28 is rejoicing in prayer. Go back and read those chapters, okay, and just see how God answered him. And he says, because I trusted in him, I am helped. Okay, 31 Psalms 31:15 says, my times are in your hand. Speaking of God, deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from those who persecute me. You have spiritual enemies that are after you, that are persecuting you, that is putting a pressure on you. And guess what? God is co-signing and allowing them to do so because he wants to see what you are going to do. If your heart is going to trust in him so that he may help you. Let me tell y'all something. Faith is provocative to God. He cannot resist it. You hear me? Faith is testing God. You're saying, okay, God, this is what's going on in my life. I'm trusting you, God. You say, if you are who you say you are, God, and your word has said that if I put my trust in you, that you will deliver me from out of the hands of my enemy and those who persecute me. God shows up. It provokes him. Okay, it makes him literally come down from heaven and dine with you and feast with you and feed you and prepare a table for you before your enemies. This is how powerful faith is. Faith pleases God. Okay, it's like going to the bank and depositing it, and then later on you can come back and withdraw if necessary. This is a spiritual deposit. Faith is. It pleases God. So that means that the opposite of faith displeases him. It turns him off and makes him turn the other way. And let me tell you something, people of God, you don't want God to not look your way. Okay, you want him to shine upon you with his grace and bless you. People of God, trust in him. Okay, trust in him. There is a way to man that seems right. This is about being impulsive and being impatient. You are under pressure, and I get it, but hold on. Hold on. Okay, you've been doing it your way all of your life. What have it gotten you? Okay, where else? What other alternative do you have but to wait on God? If you're anything like me, when I decided to act within my own wisdom and strength and do what I felt I was compelled to do, what seemed right, y'all, it went bad for me. It went bad for me. And so because of that, I feel like I know in my heart, you guys, that waiting on God, it has to be better. Even if I haven't received the promise or the answer yet, it gotta be better than the alternative of me doing what compels me and what makes sense to me. So people of God, hold on. Don't act out of impulsivity and impatience. And I'll be back with another word. Please like, subscribe, and share, and tell me what you all think about my content. Y'all be blessed.